G'day guys, welcome back to the workshop. Another couple of weeks have gone past since this last video. It's gone pretty quick on this side of things with the new kid running around. It's a bit of a time sink. You start stuff and you don't really finish it in the time that you'd expect it, but it's been nothing but good times here, and couldn't be happier. So we had an interesting week. One came out well, the other not so well. So we'll start with the failed experiment. This piece of acacia. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, it's a wattle of some description. It's from my folks' place again. Did some pruning and got a decent chunk. And I wanted to try doing greenwood turning before, and haven't got round to it. Haven't had the timber that's green or green enough. So it was a good opportunity to try it this time. Unfortunately, well, it's a bit of a toss-up. It was a crotch piece, so usually with crotch wood, you get a lot of really interesting figure where the branches split. And I was hoping that something like that would occur in this piece. The possibility is more, or you have the possibility that you're going to get a bark inclusion. So where the two branches came out and then they've sort of fused together over time of getting bigger and bigger. And where the original V was, there's still bark in there. And so the tree just grows around the bark and it stays in there. And you get a weak spot where it's, sometimes it's all right, it's a bit more solid, but in this case it wasn't. And that's the reason for the failure on this side of things, is that I was just trying to clean up the outside a little bit, and where that bark inclusion was, just clipped the edge of my chisel, and it went from a single piece into three pieces. So it's a shame, but good experiment. The shape is interesting. I haven't done anything in this sort of like flare before, but gluing it back together, luckily it was in three decent pieces, and it could be glued back together quite easily. Means that I've had it sitting in the house since it's been done, and it's dried out. We've had a couple of hot days where it's really warped quite well. So on one hand, it's a fail because obviously it's not a finished bowl, but on the other hand, it was exactly what I needed it to be. It's an experiment to see how the wood reacts, how it which way it's warping away from the heartwood, the grain direction, what it's going to do to change it. Even on, you probably can't see it in the camera here, but even the tenon at the bottom is no longer round. It's more of an oval shape to show that the difference between the radial and tangential wood movement as it dries out. So unfortunately, this didn't work out. I do have some smaller branches left, but nothing that I'd be able to make of this size. So I might do that another video. Is there any there? Not really. I might do another video trying again, maybe outside of this challenge, just to see if I can get something, because seeing it now that it's dry, there's some awesome shine through this timber. So I'd like to get a polished up piece, finished sanded, not just one that straight off the tool and been drying out. But it's hard as I might even try and fix this up and have it as a one you stick on the wall to show you what can and can't be done, I suppose, or it might just end up as firewood. Who knows? But at the moment, yeah, it's still sort of drying out, still being funky. I really like it. Interesting shape, and the timber. For what I think it's I might have said in the description of the video, it might be a African, but it's not. The tree doesn't have any thorns on it, so it's definitely an Australian wattle, but I think more likely an over east species that's been brought over. But yeah, it's really cool. I definitely will do some more greenwood turning if we have a green waste collection here. I'll go around and see if I can pick up some big chunks of wood to experiment more on, because it can be a bit funky. I think I can see that there's a lot of potential with making some cool shapes. So that one, it's not much, but I've learnt a lot. I know what to look out for, especially with that bark inclusion. I've turned other stuff where it hasn't caused any problems. This was just the unlucky one where it caused all of the problem. So yeah, not bad on that one. It's good. It's different. It was an exciting turn. It's always a pleasure turning stuff that's greener, because the ribbons come off quite well, and we don't usually, because most of the timber we have here in Australia is hard as rock. You don't usually get those big long ribbons as you see with the European and American turners. So having some wet wood do it is a pleasure. It makes it a bit easier to clean up as well. Cool, we'll leave that one there. So this one is, like I said, it's a bit more of a tool bowl, or you're almost saying a vase, but it's I'm gonna sneak it in. It wasn't supposed to be this shape, and it just so happened to work out to be this shape just through some of the problems of dealing with this desert stuff. So there was a few videos ago I did a mulga, or tried to do a mulga winged bowl, which is still sitting on my bench. I've got more of it here. I've been doing some other projects with it, and I thought, let's give it another crack. And it actually started off with another piece that I'll get. Should have had this prepared earlier. I started off with this piece actually, and it had a big corner come off, and it's just rotten through the core, which you don't really see too often, but it was a real gnarly piece. I thought it would have made a pretty interesting bowl, but unfortunately that all that rotten chunk through there isn't going to do. So I'll hopefully be able to salvage some of that for something else, because otherwise it's a waste. I actually started filming that one, and it came off and hit me in the chest, and then I had a walk around and started again, and this is what came of it. So again, wanted more of a bowl shape, but there was a fault running through it, as a lot of that stuff does, and it peeled off. So adapt and overcome, and that's the shape that came of it. I really like this stuff. Super dense. It's got a lot of character through it, which I enjoy working around the problems. It's a good problem solving task, but also you get a bit more interest out of the bowl, or the artwork or piece that you're doing. So you're never going to be able to drink anything out of this or eat your cereal, but sitting on a bench or a mantelpiece or something, I think is it brings a bit more interest. Through this challenge up to now, I've found myself thinking about doing more natural edge or interesting, working around voids and features. So hopefully you're not bored of that, and you're not sick of me constantly doing natural edge stuff. I'll try and vary it up a bit more. I've got a few ideas in my head, but it's nice to be able to work around that stuff. In terms of the form of this, again, working around the issues, I think it sits quite nicely. It's been on my fridge for a couple of days now. I like the proportions of it. I like, I guess, it's very top heavy, but light at the same time, just sitting on such a small base. I think if it just stayed that round, almost like I don't know, if it stayed that width the whole way around, it would look too thick, too chunky, too heavy. So for something that is so dark, so dense, even picking it up, it's a lot heavier than what you'd probably expect. Having that shape gives it a bit more lightness, a bit more of an airy feel, which is it's a really good contrast between it. I don't know really what else to say about this one. Again, my wall thickness is fairly even, which is something I've been trying to work on a lot more, keep things consistent. If having wood turning as a potential job or income sort of processing thing, having speed and consistency with a general quality is what you need to work for. If it took me 15 hours to make this and it's pretty well perfect, that's all well and good, but no one's going to be buying this for your 15 hours plus hourly rate, plus materials, plus workshop running fees and things like that, which all needs to get factored into it, which is a bit outside this challenge, but it's also something you need to think about, that if I need to pump out 10 bowls for someone, you've got to be able to do it fast enough that you're not charging $800 a bowl, but you're also getting that consistency of every product has the same even wall thickness the whole way through. You're not going to take something off the lathe and go, could have been a little bit better. So that's what I'm working towards as well, is having speed and consistency throughout my work, and it's getting a lot better. Well, I think we're at bowl 14, I think, off the top of my head, and you can see from the first to now, there's less sanding that I'm doing for the most part, or corrective sanding, where I'll get pretty well to the right thickness straight away, and it's just cleaning up tool marks and stuff. So it's heading in the right direction. It's been an interesting week, interesting fortnight in terms of what I've been doing. So that's good. It didn't work out well in the end, but it's been a cool little experiment. This one's really nice. I might try and just polish it up a little bit. I don't want it to be glossy, but I might give it a light buff just on the outside to give it a bit more shine. But otherwise, very happy with that one as well. I'll have a look through my timber rack the next couple of days to see what I've got in there, get some more ideas, see what's coming forward for you guys. Getting towards Christmas, I don't know if I'm going to do a Christmas theme bowl. It's not really my style, or at least I don't really know how to, just put some baubles on it, I guess, or some tinsel around the edge. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Those who are new, welcome. Those who are old, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Click the like button, subscribe. It does nothing for you. If you see my face pop up once a week, you can just ignore it. But you hear it on all these videos. It does help get me out there more, get more exposure, which in turn keeps me more accountable to knocking out stuff and trying to do better videos for everyone else. So please like, please subscribe, tell your mates, especially if they're into this kind of stuff. If you're in Perth, hit me up. We can catch up and have a chat about anything. again, coming to Christmas, if you want to buy anything, just let me know. I'm happy to sort things out like that. So yeah, I'm always here for questions. I'm always here to try and make better videos for you guys. Just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Have a good one. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, enjoy the videos I put out.